Fathers and sons, those relationships can be truly something special. Father as coach, son as athlete, well, those relationships can often be tricky. Spend 5 minutes chatting with Jason and Cameron Carr, and it's pretty clear that they've been able to navigate the latter while maintaining the former.
To just have him so involved in my life, especially involved in something that I love so much and that was so important in my growing up, I think it's a big deal.
To me, it's about the relationship that I have with my son, and basketball is more than just a sport for us. It's a way that we connect.
Dad Jason wore a number of different hats over the years with his son Cam. Always dad, of course, but for years, also coach. And more recently, announcer for Cam's high school basketball team.
For your Cook County Cowboys!
Jason loved the game growing up, first as a fan and player, and then as an announcer. And when Cam came along, that love of the game was passed down.
Obviously, basketball has been a huge part of my life. It's one of the most important things. So to be able to share that with my dad growing up was really awesome.
The two have always bonded over basketball. And when Cam was in the 4th grade, that love of the game would become a little more intimate.
At the beginning, it wasn't like something we expected. We kind of just went to like the Parks and Rec, and they needed volunteers, so he volunteered and ended up being my coach.
It wasn't something I ever planned on doing. I was kind of asked to do it, and that's really how it got started.
As fate would have it, Jason was now Cam's coach, and there was some ground rules that needed to be laid out.
We had one moment early on where he got upset because of how I sort of disciplined him or approached him at practice, and I just had to have the conversation with them on the way home that, hey dude, I can't treat you any differently than the other players. That's not fair to them, it's not fair to their families, So when we're on the court, I'm coach, not dad.
From 4th grade through 8th grade, Jason would continue to coach his son until Cam was off to high school. But their tight-knit basketball bond didn't end there. Jason is the voice of the Crook County Cowboys. Cam is now the Cowboys' starting senior guard, putting Jason and Cam in a unique position.
Senior number 15, Cameron Carr.
Dad doing play-by-play over the PA, and son playing, competing on the court.
It's pretty cool. I mean, every time I hit a shot or do something, to hear my name just from him, it's really awesome. I mean, I grew up in gyms listening to him announce and always thought he did a super good job. So to have him announce my games is super special.
My son started coming into the gym when he was an infant as I was announcing basketball games, and so now it's really kind of strange to look back and think that I was announcing basketball when he was an infant, and now almost 18 years later, I'm announcing him as a senior at Crook County High School.
When pressed, Jason admits that a little parental pride might creep in from time to time.
You can't help as a father but to be a little bit more, passionate and into the game. And yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to announce him as, in the starting lineup, and then, of course, when he hits a big three and you get the crowds into it. I mean, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, I think you can't help it but be a little extra loud for me, which, it's hard to tell in the game, but it's nice.
And just in case you're watching and find yourself in a similar scenario with your kid, Jason has a little fatherly advice.
Enjoy the ride. It goes a lot faster than you realize.
In Prineville, Eric Lindstrom, Central Oregon Daily News.